What is up, everybody? It's your brother Shamar with Ancient Watchman. Welcome back to Monday Night Smoke. Welcome in once again. We are live. We are direct. Welcome to the live. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for those who are gonna come in. Welcome in. I'm glad you guys are here. Stick around. Shalom. We have a good one. We're gonna talk about reincarnation and the myths of reincarnation, whether or not those myths or ideologies are true. Are they based on Bible prophecy or godly doctrines and whatever they like? So we are gonna go into it and we're gonna disclose the facts and see, talk about reincarnation and whether or not that's biologically, spiritually, subconsciously, quantically real, or is it just something that the Eastern religions have made up? Well, that's what we're gonna go into. So stick around. Shalom. Welcome to the live. What is up, everybody? What is up? Gather around, gather around. Once again, it's your brother Shamar with Ancient Watchman. Welcome to the live. Stick around. We have an interesting things that we're gonna talk about regarding reincarnation, and we're gonna go into some of the ancient scrolls or ancient religions, and we're gonna compare with the Bible and see who's lying, who's telling the truth, or are they all lying? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the main thing now these days. People just like to believe stuff without proving it, cross-referencing the information, and all sort of things. So Yeah. Once again, do human beings when they die, do they come back as a horse? Do they come back like as a a dog or a fish and all sort of things that the reincarnation teachings of the Eastern religions teach, right? And so that's basically where the confusion comes in, because a lot of people believe that, oh, when I die, I'm gonna come back as a horse, or when I die, I'm gonna come back as a dog. And is that true? So we're gonna go into that. We're gonna explore a little bit of the Eastern religions, especially Hinduism, um, Buddhism, and we're gonna compare with what the Bible says. But once again, a lot of people believe in omnism. Now, what is the definition of omnism? Omnism is basically you having the belief that all the religions on the world hold some truth, or they're kind of like their ways to get to the Most High, or to God, or to the Father, or to the, you know the heavens or paradise. So once again, a lot of people have the idea of omnism, or they believe in omnism. That's what they subscribe to, in which they have the belief that all religions hold some truth, or all religions leads us to the path of heaven, or to paradise, or to God, or to the Most High. So stick around, Shalom. All right, those who are listening in the background, welcome to the live. Once again, it's your brother Shemai with Ancient Watchman. I know that. Let me show you before we go into the whole subject of today's live or podcast. Let me show you something that I was watching on Facebook, in one of the posts that this brother made regarding One West and their doctrines, right? So let me show you real quick. Just give me a minute. Shalom, welcome to the live. Hold on. Now let me show you what I'm talking about, right? Now you got this brother, right? You got this brother named Daniel Yapes, right? He made a post about saying the doctrines of devils, they think they're the Jews, right? And so he posted a picture about how a lot of these One West Hamitic camps came about to be. And obviously, you brothers know that we already did a breakdown regarding how One West camps sprung for, or were born. The whole thing about these scams, ISUPK, IUIC, GOCC, and all these, House of David, all these scams, bro, they all go back to the commandment keepers. We know that the commandment keepers were created by Rabbi Matthews. They're the ones that basically began these One West doctrines, like Pan-Africanist, Black supremacy ideologies. That's basically where it all started. And so there was a split, and brothers began to teach their own understandings, their own wicked demonic doctrines, but all goes back to the root of the problem, or this tree, in which you have the commandment keepers. Now, a lot of these dudes, right, that you see right here, especially Rabbi Matthews and Rabbi Four, they're the ones that started this ideology that Christ is black, King Solomon is black, the 12 tribes were black, and all these Pan-Africanist ideologies, right? So hold on, let me bring it back again. Pablo de Santiago, hey man, what's up? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live, bro. Yeah, man. So That's what we're gonna go into now. So now, when the brother made the post, you have a lot of these Africans, Hamites, Egyptians, Canaanites coming into the post, just feeling some type of way. Yeah, just feeling some type of way. Why? Because their doctrines are getting exposed, right? And so this is what we're saying. The minute that we begin to expose their falsehood, their doctrines, their evil doctrines based on Pan-Africanist and black supremacy ideologies, that's when they start saying all sorts of things against Hispanics, Native Americans, right? But the minute that you're cool with them, you're blind to their lies. They don't say anything. They don't go against you to call you a devil, to call you an agent, to call you an Edomite. Well, therefore, since you're going against us, then you must be an Edomite. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Malak, Shalom, bro. Welcome to live. Welcome to live, everybody. Welcome to live. Once again, we're gonna go into some of the comments, and we're gonna kind of like break down some of the comments that they were saying against Hispanics, especially the minute that Hispanics and natives start making or exposing their doctrines, bro. The minute you're exposing their doctrines, the minute you're um, um, showing the people who's telling the truth and who's telling lies, that's when they begin their slander campaign against Hispanics and natives, right? And so that's what's going on in the post on the comment section when your brother's going and check out the post. Now that's the name of the brother. He made that post, right? So once again, we have a video in which we already broke down how these One West Hamitic camps began, and we show the receipts. We show how a lot of these African Americans learn doctrines from the white men, especially Judaism, customs, and all these other things. And later on, obviously, they separated from the white men and they started doing their own thing, which is the commandment keepers. And that's where you got this dude Abba Ibans, which they call him Elisha. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go into all these things. I mean, we've gone into all these things. We show the receipts. We show the history. We show how it all began, and also things. And this is exactly why we're telling Hispanics and Latinos, so-called Latinos and Native Americans, to come out of this nonsense, bro. Because all these things is a setup. This is it's a setup by Masons and the so-called Jewish men, the so-called Caesars, right? That's basically who set them up, and they set them up so that later on you will have Hispanics and natives coming into this nonsense and stupidity in order to be deceived and lied to. And that's what Hispanics don't see. Why? Because their minds, have been so much brainwashed to the point that they can't see the truth. And that's why we're here, bro. That's exactly why we're here, to tell it how it is, bro, and to tell our people what is going on, bro. So, um, Shalom, everybody. Shalom. Welcome to the live. Now, anyway, so we're gonna go into some of the comments from the post, right? And watch this, right? Now we have a sister, right, that has also been roaring like the lion that she is, right? Like our woman and stuff, so-called Latino woman. Now, again, the minute that we start exposing their doctrines and their falsehood, we call all sorts of names, right? But now check this out. This is an inbox that these so-called David Judah sent to one of our sisters. He said, first of all, you dragon, I'm not even no Canaanite, laughing my ass out. Plus, I have commonly skin and ruddy. He meant to say ruddy, right? Skin. Now, he's no ruddy, bro. The word ruddy means red, like so-called Native Americans and Hispanics. It says, I can glow and shine in the sun, which is false, because the word to shine, it doesn't mean black at all, bro. But whatever. And it says you turn red. Let me ask you, it says you turn red, meaning like basically saying that our women are Esau or the so-called white men. Let me ask you this: have you ever seen Africans grow beards on their face, etc., etc.? Right? So all these things, bro, that a lot of these dudes say is because they're feeling some type of way, especially when their doctrines are getting exposed. See, it says, "Yo, weak ass Gentiles, wasn't enjoy your kingdom, puto and idiota, and all these other things, bro." So it's like they don't have scholarship, bro. They don't have some sort of spiritual responses. All they have is some sort of slander campaign and hatred against Hispanics and natives because their doctrines are getting exposed. See, it says black people are the tribe of Judah. So how is black people the tribe of Judah? Can they prove that? Of course they can. They cannot prove their case if their life depended on it, bro. We've been arguing about these things time and time and time again, all the time, bro. But I just want to show you, like, what we go through, like, on Facebook all the time, bro. So you got this brother, bro, Garfield. You brothers have seen. We did a live with him, but he's even exposing his own people. Why? He used to be like an IUIC camper, bro. And once he started finding out, like, the whole crafty council of African Americans lying to African Americans and lying to Hispanics, natives, he began to battle against a lot of these one West Semitic camps. Now you brothers have seen him debate Al-Azhar. You guys seen him debate Lex. You have seen him debate other cats from these one West camps, including Tasariak, right? But we've been teaching about the Hermetic hypothesis, especially when Quana brought it out, and we also began to teach it to the community. Now people are catching up, right? So it says the Hermetic hypothesis is partially responsible for how African Americans view Africans, true or false. So obviously we've been saying that the Hermetic hypothesis is basically them saying, you see, according to the Sondervan dictionary, when you go into the definition of Ham, well, the word Ham says that the Libyans, the Egyptians, and everybody else, they were dark, right? But not the Negroes, meaning that the Negroes don't even come from Adam. That's basically what they're saying. And a lot of these one West Americans, when they read that, they get all excited. They fall backwards to say, you see, according to the definition right here, Ham, he's not our father, because it says not the Negroes. But what they're missing, what they're forgetting, or what they're not realizing is that when it says but not the Negroes, is excluding them from even them being the sons of Adam, meaning that they're not even Adamized, so they don't come from Adam, meaning that they're the beast of the field. That's basically what it's saying, and they don't realize that, bro. But Ben Cuevas, I'm working on Luso African. The Portuguese were basically the slave traders that enslaved the Africans and took them to Brazil, Genesis 19:5. Exactly, man. All this stuff, all this information that's come out, bro. It's like you have Al-Azhar and then Deacon Haka with the sick carry members lying, basically trying to exclude themselves from Genesis 9:25 through 27. So but we invited a lot of these Africans to come into the panel and speak their piece, bro. Obviously, none of them are gonna show up because they know they know we got the blades. They know we got the sword sharpened up, bro. If they come out with some nonsense, we're gonna cut them. We're gonna expose their lies, bro. And so that's why they don't come in here, bro. When I was going back and forth with like these cats on Facebook on the boards, just going back and forth. That's all they can do at the end of the day. They can type away like a bunch of keyboard warriors, bro. But when it comes to proving their case, bro, and coming in here live and discuss their doctrines, bro, they will never do it. Why? Because they're afraid. They know what we have, bro. They know what we bring out. They know what we're about. Exactly. Exactly, bro. And that's the whole point. Like, what is the point of us going back and forth with them on Facebook if they're never gonna show up with us and debate their case in here live for everybody to hear? So, and it's like the same thing with this cat, like Yahudim, right? That's exactly what I said, bro. And I got blocked. My comment got deleted. And he's like, I told him like, what, you want to give us the theological fade, right? Because according to him, he was gonna go and meet with the Sicarii in real life, which he did, right? But I'm like, you're a fucking coward, right? Every time he loses a debate, bro, he's lost how many debates? 15 debates, bro. It's like 15 debates that he lost against us, bro. And he doesn't want to let go, bro. He doesn't want to let go of the fact that every debate that he's had with us, bro, he lost it every single one of them, bro. But he has the audacity to, keep on bothering the community, bro, about with his weak doctrines and nonsense and stupidity, bro. Right? And this is why Jose Vega and myself, we don't really bother with him anymore, because he's a joke. He's really a joke, bro. Literally a joke, a clown. Uh, Always loyal 360. We don't subscribe to the 12 tribe chart, bro. So we don't consider ourselves Northern Kingdom or none of that stuff, bro. We don't subscribe to the 12 tribe chart because it's false. It was created by Hamites back in the 1960s through a dream by what's his name? What's his name? Uh, Aria, this African convert that began this that was part of one of the um, original camps back in the day. They're the ones that supposedly had a dream, and they were like, well, Hispanics, natives, they're Israelites, and they're also Hebrews. Even though we have always known our people, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, all going back to prior to the colonization of 1492, our people already knew who they were, bro. It's in the oral history, it's in the written history, especially like the Quiche Mayas. They speak about these things. We brought these things. We have the books to prove it. It's not like we're just saying stuff, you know. So we have proof about these things, that these Hamites began these lies in order to deceive Hispanics and natives, because they know that we are the Israelites, the real Shemitic Hebrew Israelites, and they're the converts that were set up by the so-called Jewish men back in the 1960s, right? And again, we have already debunked all of this stuff. We have brought the receipts and the history on how these one West Semitic camps began. So it's not like I'm just saying this stuff. So, but welcome to the live, everybody. Welcome to the live once again. It's your brother Shaman with Ancient Watchmen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna go into the lesson or the topic on reincarnation, and then we're gonna go into some of the history of the ancient Eastern religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, and we're gonna find out those whether reincarnation is true or is it a lie, or that's a tie with the Bible or not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm assuming that there's dudes in the background listening to us right now. Obviously they're gonna listen. They're just gonna sit there and listen. They're never gonna want to click the link and come on the panel to actually discuss their doctrines, bro, because they know they're gonna get exposed. Every single point that they make, we already have debunked it, bro. We have debunked it left and right, and we have the proofs for that, bro. So now I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. You see, we made that lesson, right? We made this lesson. When was that? I don't have it, bro. I don't have the date, but you brothers can go check it out. It's right there. It's called Fake Black Hebrew Israelites, African Converts. We brought the receipt, bro. We already exposed it all, bro. You guys can check it out. It's literally an hour and 7 minutes and 35 seconds. You guys can go check it out. We brought the receipts, we brought the information, we brought the history to prove our case. It's not like we're saying stuff. We don't make stuff up around here, bro. We prove stuff with history. We go into books, bro. We go into prophecy. We go into the history books. We bring it all out. It's right there. You brothers can go check it out. A lot of these dudes began with Masons and they were set up by the so-called Jewish men back in the 1960s. Go check it out. Go check it out, especially Rabbi Matthews and Rabbi Four. So right there, go check it out. That's our lesson. We already exposed it. We have many lessons on many things, bro. We have many breakdowns on many things, especially like the doctrines that they teach in a lot of these cults, bro, in a lot of these religious institutions. The synagogue of Satan, basically. See, King David had goat's hair. We have that lesson too. You know, the real breakdown of Jeremiah 14:2 is right there. The blacks are the Jews are not black. We already proved that. You know, we already proved that the 12 tribes are not Negroes. We have the receipts. We went into the history. It's right there. It said the 12 tribes never began as Negroes. Right there. An hour and 20 minutes and 39 seconds. It's right there. Right there, bro. So anybody that's interested, bro, to go check out these lessons, bro. It's very important for you to guys to learn, bro. If you can't gain knowledge, you will be deceived by nonsense and stupidity out there, bro. Right? Why? Because knowledge is power. That's what they say, right? That's basically what they're fighting today. Like nations today, what do they fight about? They go into battles of information. That's all there is today. Like you have hackers that are hacking the system of like important governments like the United States. Like you got China and Russia hacking the system of the database of the United States. Why? Because the battles today is not merely wars like back in the day. It's more into information. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're doing warfare with information because information is power. You know, and that's basically what we're going to when scriptures talks about my people perish for lack of knowledge. Well, our people have been dying spiritually, emotionally, you know, because they don't have knowledge. They continue, they're being deceived by a lot of these scams. Again, going back to, you know, we have this lesson that we did about Isaiah chapter 3, 16 through 17. We broke it down. It's not referring to the so-called black woman. That's not what it's talking about. Again, you brothers can go check it out. We decoded the scriptures, bro. We went into the Hebrew and then we broke it down. It's right there, bro. So once again, for a lot of these cats that are lying to Hispanics and natives in these, you know, congregations, bro, go check these lessons out, bro. We put in the work, bro, for you brothers to educate yourselves. We don't just do this stuff just so that we can get views or people can watch us say stuff, bro. No, we made these lessons so that people can educate themselves. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the whole thing about, you know, Israel shall never wax pale. You know, and a lot of brothers, a lot of these cats, a lot of these Hamites, Egyptians use Isaiah 29 to say a bunch of lies, twist the scriptures, bro. Hey, Randy, what's up, man? Welcome to live. Ishai, man, what's up? What's new, bro? What's going on? You guys want to come on? Let me know. I'm gonna post the link in the chat group, so you brothers can click on it and bring yourselves in again. And we'll see. You know, we'll see what we can do tonight. We're gonna do just a short lesson or just short discussion on the topic of reincarnation. So stick around. Yeah, exactly, Torres. Election hacking has been around since the Bush and Al Gore. I mean, I believe it. I mean, you got the Russians and you got the Chinese doing the hacking, bro. Now the technology that the Japanese and the Chinese have, bro, is especially with the cell phone companies. They're more like, I think they're more advanced than what they're giving credit to, bro. It's just that the United States doesn't want to admit that they have a huge competition with China, and this is exactly part of the virus, the so-called, you know, so-called virus that is going on in the world today. Well, it's part of that. It's part of like they call it geopolitical warfare. Geopolitical warfare is basically warfare about war within politics. Now, again, geopolitical warfare is basically information warfare that is going on behind the scenes that people don't see. People go about their lives thinking that, oh, it's all good and dandy, bro, but it's not. Like there's an actual war that is going on behind the scenes, and it has to do with like the CIA and like all the information. What would you call it? The information agencies from every country, like the Mossad. You got the CIA. You got what would you call it? MIA from the England. So it's all about that, bro. It's all about information of war and information. So Mino Joshua, man, what's up, man? Welcome to live. All right, cool. Right. Yeah, exactly, bro. And then there's like a lot of levels to the awakening, there's a level, a mental level of reawakening the senses of the mind. And then there is the awakening of the spirit. And then there's the awakening of the subconscious levels. And then there's the awakening of the conscious level. So there's levels to the awakening of people. It's not just some sort of awakening like, oh, I realize there's more. There's like levels to the awakening of humanity as a whole, bro, and individually as well, because everybody, is an individual. So, right, MI6. That's what I meant to say. MI6, exactly. But anyway, so the question is, have you had a deja vu, or how many times have you been here? That's the question, right? Because we're gonna go into the topic of reincarnation, and then we're gonna explore once again. We're gonna explore some of the Eastern religions, uh, ideologies or philosophies regarding the subject of reincarnation, right? Because once again, the belief that many people have today is that when you die, you're gonna come back as a dog, or you're gonna come back as an eagle, or you're gonna come back as a sheep, or a lion, or a tiger, or some sort of animal, bro. But that's completely false, and we're gonna break it down for people to understand how that is not true. So stick around. Shalom, welcome to live. Once again, share the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Gypsy King, exactly. Reincarnation, exactly. Well, there's a lot of evidence out there, bro. Again, there's what would you call it? There's theoretical evidence, and then you have empirical evidence. Now, the empirical evidence is something that has already been proven by science and by empirical physical evidence. And then you have the theoretical evidence, like the greatest example will be what would you call it? The theory of evolution, right? That's basically what they teach in schools today. Like, oh well, the world was created through this cosmic soup back in, millions and billions of years ago. Obviously, no scientist was there billions of years ago. There's no cosmic soup or the remaining of some sort of cosmic soup in order for us to even make those claims. So that's what I'm saying. There's theoretical evidence, and then there's empirical evidence. Now, the empirical evidence is the steps that are taken in order for you to find out about something in the lab that has been proven, that you can see with your eyes, is tangible. Well, a lot of these reincarnation what would you call it, the reincarnation events of people coming into this planet, being born, and remembering that, oh well, I used to live in such and such street, or my mother, her name was such and such and such, and she had green eyes, or you know, or my best friend was such and such and such. So you have individuals on this planet today, and since a lot of psychiatric studies have been done way back in the past, especially back in the 1940s, where they were able to record these events of people claiming that they've been here before. So there's tangible evidence out there, bro. There's empirical evidence out there, and we're gonna go into that in a minute. So stick around. Shalom, welcome to life. Jisha, I think we reincarnate several times until the last time. Each of us a different amount of times until the 7,000 years is up. I think we are around 6,000 years now. It's time for Christ to lock up the beast. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's one way you're looking at it. I mean, especially the whole creationist ideology, as far as the seven literal 7,000 years of creation of Genesis. Now, that's another topic that maybe we can go into another day, but you know, Shalom, everybody. Welcome to live once again. It's your brother Shemai with Ancient Watchman. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And for those who have subscribed, thank you for your subscriptions. Stick around. We have a good one today. So, Shalom. Malak, regeneration through the bloodline. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. Yeah, because blood is the codes of life. So DNA is basically mathematics within biology itself. So we know that mathematics is perfect. It can never be wrong, right? Because everywhere we can see, um, at all levels, we can see mathematics. We can see geometry and trigonometry all over the place. So blood itself, it's a code system of it's a 4-bit code system in order to create life. So I mean, it could have some truth to that reincarnation is inside the blood, as far as passing down like information to the next generation through genes, through the genetic form. So we are gonna explore on that. Shalom, everybody. Welcome to live. Welcome to the live. Anyway, so the question is, have any of you brothers have experienced deja vu in your lives? Anybody? All right, so let me before we go into the topic, let me just bring this out and kind of read a little bit, because I don't know, I find it interesting and weird that all of a sudden the government is legalizing certain drugs. It says Oregon law to decriminalize all drugs goes into effect, offering addicts rehab instead of prison. Now, what are the consequences of um, uh, decriminalizing all the drugs in the state? Now, there's many things we can go into and talk about. Like, for example, we know that the government has taken control of the production of weed, right? Cannabis. Now, there are certain cannabis out there that is genetically modified, right? So you have a lot of brothers, or a lot of people, a lot of sisters, a lot of women, uh, um, intaking weed or smoking cannabis, but it's genetically modified. So they're literally smoking or drinking or however they're taking it. It's genetically modified. It's being tainted with, bro. It's not natural anymore. So that could be one of like the like the cons of what they're doing, bro. You know. So who knows what's going on? Who knows what's gonna happen? Now check this out. It says executive director of the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon is determined to give other addicts the same opportunity. That's why she pushed for the passage of Measure 110, first of its kind legislation to decriminalize the possession of all illegal drugs in Oregon, including heroin, cocaine, meth, and oxycodone. You see? So, I mean, what are the negative consequences on that, bro? That's I don't know if they thought about it or not. It's not you're gonna have a lot of children, basically, a lot of teenagers having the easier door to have access to these drugs. You know. Anyway, they control you in the legal drugs. Yeah, and the funny thing or the sad thing about the government basically controlling the drug cannabis usage and selling of it is that back in the day you have a lot of Hispanics and so-called blacks selling drugs, selling cannabis, and now they're in jail. So now that they have made it legal for people to carry in their cars or whatever, like, or go buy it legally, are they gonna like free these people out, set them free from prison and all those other things? Because it seems like now that it's legal, now you have like a lot of these for example, a lot of these white folks basically taking over the entire system of cannabis and being sold. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is the agenda? What is the biggest agenda behind this whole thing? Legalizing, cannabis and all these other drugs. So what is the end goal? That's the point. All right, so now you guys remember what I was talking about, right? Earlier when I was showing you guys the brother Daniel made a post about exposing how these one West Semitic camps began. Now, in some other comments, you guys can go check it out. But these do, right? It says, wait a second, are you saying the transatlantic slave trade did not happen? Are you saying I was lied to? How about this prophecy in Deuteronomy chapter 28:54? Now, this is basically what they go into all the time. Every time we expose their doctrines, they hold on to these, passages like Deuteronomy chapter 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. And that's basically what they go into. That's basically what they hold for dear life. But we know we have proven many times that many nations went they were scattered. They went into slavery, not just the so-called Negroes, but the Elamites, the Canaanites, the Egyptians, and many other nations were scattered way back in the day. So when they quote Deuteronomy chapter 28:68, it has nothing to do with so-called African Americans of West Africa from the 1960s. It has nothing to do with them at all. So it's like We have gone over these things many, many times, especially when we went into the third book of Baruch, chapter 4, where a lot of the Jews during the times of the Romans were sent back to Egypt on ships again. We have brought this many, many times. As a matter of fact, we're gonna go into it in a minute. Catriel Joseph, Shalom, bro. Welcome to live. Trujillo, Shalom, bro. Welcome to live. Mija, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to live. Welcome to the live, everybody. Stick around, Shalom. Let's see. Third book. Chapter 4. All right, man. So once again, we're gonna go into reincarnation in a minute. So let me just show you this real quick before we go into it. But yeah, we're gonna go into the whole concept of reincarnation. What does it mean? What does it entail? Do we, when we die, do we come back as a horse or a fish or a shark? When people die, do they come back as other animals or birds? Right? That is the question, because that's basically the idea that Buddhism and Hinduism is teaching, and a lot of people confuse that with what the Bible teaches, because the Bible teaches about reincarnation. Now, I know that a lot of people don't believe in that because supposedly there's no quote unquote proof of it. But today I'm gonna show you some examples of tangible evidence of reincarnation happening in real life. So, and see, once again, we're doing this live, we're doing this podcast, and you have a lot of these clowns on Facebook going back and forth on the post that I just showed you. This post right here. You got these clowns going back and forth, even though we're live, right? We are here live. We are live and direct, right? So why are these cats not coming into the podcast, clicking on the link and coming into the panel? Why? Because they're afraid. They know that we're gonna bring in the blades and cut them with their nonsense, bro. So yeah. So once again, you have these clowns. You have clowns like this, holding on to for dear life on Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, when it says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." And they connect that with the slave trade of the 1600s, which it has nothing to do with them at all, bro. But that's exactly what they do, bro. They always go back to the same arguments, bro, even though we have already debunked it once again. Going back to the third book of Maccabees, chapter 4, which we're gonna go into it in a minute. I don't think predestination goes against reincarnation, because somebody can be predestined to live alive. Like someone can be predestined to live 100 years, and in a lapse of 100 years, you have a timeline in which you're gonna do whatever it is that you were commanded to do. So the predestination doesn't necessarily go against reincarnation at all, because once again, someone can be given a lapse of time of 100 years to live for you to do whatever it is that you were meant to do or created to do, right? Chapter 4. Well, not necessarily, because last time you were on the live show, you were saying that Enoch returned, right? And I showed you that Enoch, the prophet, returned at least 3 times on the planet. So for you to say that, oh, for God to make you chosen, it goes against chosen to be reincarnated again. Well, that goes even against your own argument last time, because you were saying the same thing, talking about Enoch coming back into the planet, even though when we read, what is it, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, I believe, right? Yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7, it says that the spirit returns to the Father. But even when we read in Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27, it says that it was commanded for man to die once, and then after that, the judgment. Okay, so if that's the case, then why do we find Enoch coming back into the planet at least 3 times? And then you're saying that according to the book of Revelations, Enoch and Elisha are supposed to come into this planet again. So how would you explain that? Well, Enoch was not an Israelite. Even, he was an Adamite. He comes from the loins of Adam, from the chosen seed of Adam. And the 7 lineages, bloodlines of Adam. So, but yeah, some food are drugs, especially like, I was talking about this with someone else, talking about cheese. Cheese could be like some sort of drug that ignites some sort of part of the brain, which basically acts like, as almost as if you were taking crystal meth, because people eat cheese, and the more they eat cheese, they want more. They get addicted to cheese, bro. So yeah, I agree with that. Well, I didn't say that Enoch came back. I proved it. We read it. Everybody that was watching, we all read it. We all read it together in the book of Enoch. He came back again to teach his wife and his children back in ancient times. So it's not like I said it out of my own mouth. No, I actually proved that. We went into the scrolls, and then I read it for yourselves. We read it all together. So, but anyways, we're gonna go into that in a minute. So stick around. Shalom, everybody. Welcome to the live. Um, give me a minute. My computer is loading. It's a little donut. It's loading. Shalom, everybody. Shalom, as your brother Shemai with Ancient Watchmen. Stick around. We're having technical issues with my computer, but we're gonna fix it in a minute. So stick around. Right, right. Where's that at? All right, man. So going back to the argument that I was talking about, right? In the post that brother Daniel was made about, how One West began and all these leaders teaching false doctrines based on black supremacy ideologies that we have already exposed. A lot of these cats, a lot of these African converts were taught by the white men, by the Jewish men back in the 1960s, so on and so forth. So you brothers can go check the post out and check out the comments. Now, what a lot of these dudes always bring out is like they always cling to dear life to Deuteronomy chapter 28:68, like this cat is doing, right? It says, see, you've been beguiled to believe that because you had secret hatred for the so-called black man. Deuteronomy chapter 28, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. It says, he said, read slowly. See, and if you're saying that happened in 70 AD, you can't use it for the northern tribes. Well, obviously we can't use it for the northern tribes because the northern tribes came on the side of the world in 722 BC. You see how their arguments are, easily debunked. Now, again, going back to Deuteronomy chapter 28:68, it was already fulfilled back in during the time of the Romans. We already brought that out before. But yeah, so their whole argument about bringing Deuteronomy chapter 28:68, saying, "Well, see, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." See, this is what happened to the so-called Negroes back in the 1960s. Well, that's not true, because once again, we already proved that in the third book of Baruch chapter 4, where you have a lot of these a lot of the southern kingdom going back into slavery, back to Egypt on ships, exactly how Deuteronomy 28:68 says. Now, if that happened already, then why are these scats holding to dear life to the slave trade of the 1600s, bro? Now, check this out. Once again, they act as if the scriptures doesn't say that there were many nations that were already scattered before. So check this out. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 49:36. It says, check this out. Jeremiah 49:36, it says, I will bring against Elam the four winds. You see the four winds. Who are the four winds? What is it talking about? It says the four winds from the four quarters of heaven. I will scatter them to the four winds. You see, and there will be a nation, and there will not be a nation where Elamites, uh, exiles, do not go. You see, so literally we are reading in prophecy that not only the 12 tribes were scattered, right, according to Romans chapter 28:68, but there were Elamite nations that were scattered also. So again, why are these cats holding on to Deuteronomy chapter 28:68 as if that's the only place where we read about a group of people being scattered to the four corners of the earth? That's exactly what we read over here. Now, we already brought out how the Canaanites were scattered also, and how the Egyptians were also scattered. Right, right. So hold on. Shalom, everybody. Once again, welcome to live. I'm glad you guys are here. Stick around. We're gonna go into the topic. I just want to bring these things out before we dive in. So stick around. Be patient. Shalom. All right. Um, yeah, man. So once again, going back to the argument that these clowns like to make all the time about, oh, Soko Negro was scattered, by ships, according to Romans chapter 28:68. Not knowing that we already read in Jeremiah that Elamites were scattered to the four winds of the earth, right? And we are about to read how the Egyptians were also scattered, bro. Yeah, I think Anthony, 2019. I think you're referring to the 12 tribe chart. Well, the Genesis 49 has nothing to do with the latter days, as in today. We might do a special breakdown on Genesis 49, how it's not even referring to what a lot of these cats are teaching, as far as whether the so-called Negro, the so-called African American, he's Judah, or the so-called Haitians, he's a Levite. The so-called Mexicans, they're Issachar. So-called Puerto Ricans, they're Ephraimites. Well, that's not biblical, bro. That's a lot of conjecture, a lot of made-up doctrines, bro, that came up with One West. And they used, again, you have a lot of these. There's a lot of videos from a lot of these African Americans clearly saying that were part of these camps, they were part of this congregation, saying that the only reason why they created the chart is so that they could mix in with our women. Now, that's also part of a crafty council. Why? Because we read in the scriptures that our people, so-called Hispanics, natives, so-called gypsies, were not meant to mix in with the Canaanites, bro. It's a law. We were never meant to mix in with them. Why? Because they were completely they're the cursed people. So why would a Kodash, why would a Kodash, a holy separated nation, would go and mix in with like someone that is cursed to be the lowest of all slaves, bro? It's madness. It's complete madness. Not only that, but the whole idea behind the 12 tribe chart is so that they could put themselves above the stars. Meaning, who's claiming to be Judah? Who's claiming to be Benjamin? Who's claiming to be Levi? Who? Hispanics or natives? or so-called African Americans of the slave trade of the 1600s, right? So that was also part of the crafty council, that they would put themselves and subscribe to be Judah, meaning the head tribe, in order to what? To subjugate so-called Hispanics and natives with a bunch of lies. And then now you got a lot of Hispanics natives following to the nonsense, bro, following to the lies. And a lot of Hispanics that they don't know what's going on, they don't have knowledge of it, they don't know what's going on, so they believe the lie, and so they easily deceive. Yeah, bro. As a matter of fact, let me see. Simeon and Levi are scattered among all tribes. It was cursed on them. Well, Levi returned back to Judah, bro. I brought this out many times before. Judah, Levi was kicked out from Northern Kingdom tribes back during the times of Jeroboam, the king of the Northern Kingdom. He kicked them out. He kicked out the tribe of Levi and sent them back to Judah. That's why when we read about the scriptures, we find majorly the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi back in the day when Christ was walking upon the earth. To the exception of certain tribes like families of Asherites, the tribe of Asher, and some other tribes, but mostly you have Benjamin and Levi linked to Judah. Why? Because Jeroboam is the one. Jeroboam, I think it was Jeroboam. Yeah, I think Jeroboam is the one that kicked out the Levites, bro. And as a matter of fact, let me G-Shy, bring it out, bro. If you want, you can bring yourself into the panel. Otherwise, type it in, bro. But bring it out. Hold on. Yeah, so what I was saying is that, again, Levi was kicked out from the Northern Kingdom and brought back to Judah, bro. Now, I'm going to show you real quick. Now, check this out, right? It's the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 11. It says 11:12. It says, and in every several city he put shields and spears and made them exceeding strong, having Judah and Benjamin on the side. So Judah is the one that was trying to fortify himself, because he knew there was going to be bloodshed between the Northern Kingdom and the Southern. There was going to be civil war, so he had to fortify himself. So it says that Judah and Benjamin was with him. But 13 it says, and the priest and the Levites that were in all Israel, meaning in the Northern Kingdom, right? It says, resorted to him out of all their coast. You see, verse 14, for the Levites left their suburbs and their possessions and came to Judah, you see, and Jerusalem, for Jeroboam and his sons had cast them out off from executing the priest's office unto the Lord. See? So the whole point is that Jeroboam basically kicked the Levites out from Samaria, and a lot of the Levites returned back to Judah, bro. And so now you have Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So going back to what I was saying as far as the 12 tribe chart, bro, the 12 tribe chart is basically them place themselves as the priest and the kings, in order to do what? In order to lie to Hispanics and natives. Now I'm gonna show you what I'm saying is factual. Now check this out. Let's go. We're gonna go into the video. We're gonna go into the video, bro, and prove what I'm saying is true. Now watch this. Hold on. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna pull up the video. Again, I want to prove my statement when I said that a lot of these cats put themselves as the tribe of Benjamin, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, in order to put themselves above the stars, meaning above Hispanics and natives. So let me see. Hold on. How do I do this? How do I do this? Okay, right there. Yishai, you said you got something on Deuteronomy chapter 28, bro. Bring it out. Otherwise, type it in or bring yourself into the panel, bro, if you want. Let me share the link for any brothers that want to come in, bro. Like you got Jishai saying that he wants something. He has something to share. So the link is gonna be in the chat group or in the chat room. If any brothers are interested in coming in, bro, let me know. Click on the link and speak your piece, bro. Shalom, welcome to life. Yeah, hold on. I'm loading up real quick. I'm loading up the video, bro. So just give me a minute. Now check this out. These are all the comments that they're still going back and forth, bro. They're still going back and forth as far as what's being said, bro. But again, they never had the balls, bro, to come in here and actually discuss their doctrines, bro, or talk about what they're actually saying. They can only type away, bro, all the time. That's all they do. Just type on the comment boards on Facebook. But we are alive right now. We are alive right now. What can they be men and come in here, bro, and talk about what they really believe or how they really feel about Hispanics and natives, you know? Ah, man. Bro, hold on, bro. I think I show the post already for brothers to go into. So um let me see if I can show it again. But yeah, the post is on Facebook. Brother Daniel made it. So you brothers can go check it out over there. Yeah, give me a minute, man. I'm trying to find the video that was where you have a lot of these brothers, African Americans, literally saying that the 12 tribe chart was created to basically deceive a lot of Africans into mixing in their bloodlines with like a lot of our women, bro. So that's basically what's going on, bro. It's like them being part of the crafted council to mix their bloodlines with us, even though we read in Deuteronomy chapter 7, 1 and 3, that our bloodline was never supposed to be mixed in with them at all, right? But that's basically like part of the crafted council in order for them to dilute our bloodlines, bro. In order to Africanize our community. Now you have a lot of children walking around all confused, trying to highlight whether or not they're Africans or Mexicans or Hispanics. So they don't even know what's going on, bro. You know? Ah man, it's pretty slow, but hold on, let me see. All right, man. Yeah, I apologize. I just got back. So I got the video, right? So I was saying earlier, right, that One West, a lot of these scams that began with this the Commandment Keepers and the Abba Vivens and Aria, basically the creator of the 12 tribe chart, which they claim that the Mosai gave him a dream, and that the Mosai showed him that, oh well, so-called Hispanics, natives, they're the Israelites because such and such and such. Even though we have already proven that many of our people already knew that they were the Israelites even prior to the conquest of 1492. Now, this guy right here, this man, he calls himself the chief of chiefs, Naphtali ben Naphtali. Well, he claims to be from the tribe of Naphtali. Now, I want you to listen what he's about to say, right? Watch. So, no, now, going back to my statement earlier saying that the 12 tribe chart was created to deceive Hispanics and natives and to subjugate Hispanics natives into the lies that a lot of these West Africans learned under the white men back in the 1960s when they learned Judaism from the so-called Jewish men. Now, check this out, right? Check this out.
We were over there, and they had the great experience. I went up there a couple times. One time we were over there, and they had the charts up, and they had the charts. Great experience. I went up there a couple times. One time we were over there, and they had the charts up, and they had the charts. They said, if you're Jamaican, you come from this tribe, and if you're from Barbados, it's that tribe, and read the book. Said, hey, come on, Pop. What is, you know that ain't right? He said, of course, Danny, I know that's not right. And read the book. Said, hey, come on, Pop. What is, you know that ain't right? He said, of course, Danny, I know that's not right. He said, but that's the hook. That's how we get them into place, and we wire them up to what's true. He said, but that's the hook. That's how we get them into place, and we wire them up to what's true. He said, but that's the hook. That's how we get them into place, and we wire them up to what's true. He said, but that's the hook. That's how we get them into place, and we wire them up to what's true. Well, you know, years later, after he passed away, and his sons and all of them, they either died or moved away, the Tanakh school began to teach those things as truth. This is the truth. The Tanakh school began to teach those things as truth. This is the truth, you know, and well.
See, right there. Abba Vivens, that's the one that began with this ideology that, oh, so-called Hispanics natives are the true Israelites, and so on and so forth. But they used it as a hook to get Hispanics into the lies, right? To deceive.
Experience. I went up there a couple times.
Anyway, so that's it. Now, what I was going back to into earlier, right? Where a lot of these cats go into, oh, you know, we went into slavery, you know, the slave trade and the ships act, you know, that's us, the Judah and all these other things. Well, false, right? Because again, I show you guys earlier that Elamites went into slavery to the four corners of the earth, and you have in the book of Ezekiel, we have already gone into this many times. Ezekiel 30:26, I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations, you see, and scatter them through the countries. See, so even the Egyptians were scattered as well. So why are these clowns using Deuteronomy chapter 28:68 as if that's the only time? Again, that is the post for brothers that want to go check it out. Go check out that post. That's the brother that made the post. But they're going back and forth right now. Even as we speak, they're going back and forth. They're going back and forth, even though we're live, right? But anyway, so yeah, it's cats like this, bro, and it's all these cats, all these African converts that want to think themselves to be Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, lying to Hispanics, natives, holding on to Deuteronomy chapter 28:68 for dear life, even though this was already fulfilled back in the during the Roman times, right? You have a lot of our people that were shipped going back to Egypt again with ships, you know. So now, let me just bring this out real quick, and then we're gonna go into the topic. Sorry, I'm taking too long. Going, just want to bring this out real quick. So now, check this out. This dude named Calvin Peoples, right? He made this post. Basically, now check the agenda, right? This is the agenda that they have. It says, "What if Mongoloidal natives helped the white and black Europeans colonize America and enslave the copper and color Indians, Negro? You see." And they usurp the Indians' identity. See now, basically, and then a lot of these clowns always go back to a lot of these native black African American native Indians that brothers, you guys know that we already brought the information out in the book saying that a lot of these runaway slaves they took refuge amongst a lot of Native Americans back in those days, and a lot of the Native Americans took them as slaves or servants, and then later on, these African Americans marry Native American women, creating, or creating half Native, half African. So later on, now in our days, you have a lot of these clowns saying that, you see, these are the real Native Americans. You see, that's what they look like. Now, they push these things as truth and facts, not knowing that we have already exposed these things already. We have brought out the facts that uh, she's not a Native American. She was amalgamated, or she took refuge amongst Native Americans, and she took on the customs of our people, the so-called Native Americans. Not that she was ethnically a Native American, but a lot of these clowns like this, they push these images as true and facts. Now, I'm gonna show you that this woman right here is not a Native American. That a lot of these clowns, these so-called West Africans, are lying, pushing pseudo information. Now, check this out. I did a post about this. Her name is Diana Fletcher, I believe. It says Diana's father was born in Virginia. His parents were born in Africa and brought to America as slaves. While while still a young child, he was sold to a man who lived in Florida. He ran away and lived with the Seminole Indians. Though still a slave, they treated him better than his former master. You see, so a lot of these runaway slaves that took refuge amongst our people, they were treated even better, bro. Our people, our so-called native chiefs, treated the African Americans better than the white men did back in those days. So a lot of them were given wives and daughters, Native American daughters from the chiefs, in order for them to marry. He says he married a Seminole woman. You see, she died on the Trail of Tears. Now, you brothers can go research the Trail of Tears. It was horrible. But the whole point is this: the forced relocation of Indians to Oklahoma. Um, it says Diana learned traditional Kiowa's crafts from her stepmother, sewing, cooking, tanning buffalo hides, making teepees, and so on and so forth. But the whole point is that she was not a Native American like a lot of these clowns, lying snakes are saying. See, why the agenda, bro? Why go to these lengths to lie to people? Again, going back to what I said earlier, a lot of our people perish for lack of knowledge. They don't understand that a lot of these clowns have an agenda to lie to Hispanics and natives, to lie to even their own people, to claim that these people are the real Native Americans when they're not. They were amalgamated into our tribes. But you see, that's as far as these what would you call it, agenda goes. It's part of the crafty council, man. So all right, so let's go back to the subject matter, right? Reincarnation. Is it real? What is it about? Why do people have so-called deja vus? What is that about? Do people really return as dogs and horses? or is that a far-fetched idea or ideology or doctrine from Buddhism and Hinduism, which is where we get the ideology or the doctrine of reincarnation, right? Now you brothers can see it, right? You see the eight. That's basically the infinity. That's the infinity symbol, which symbolizes like, you are born, you die, and then you return back, and then you are reborn again into, another body or something else. So but we're gonna go and kind of explore a little bit of that. So what is reincarnation? Reincarnation is a philosophical or religious concept that an aspect of a living being starts a new life in a different physical body or form after each biological death, right? The theory of reincarnation, or quote, life after death, end quote, is believed by certain communities such as Buddhism and Hinduism. Um, Although there are also several philosophers who also believe in such theory, such as John Ducase, Pythagoras, Socrates, etc. Ducasse, a French philosopher, stated that reincarnation is a form of life after bodily death in which the soul becomes incarnate again. Um, Incarnate again through re-entry in a new human or possibly animal body, which again I completely disagree with that statement. Why? I'm gonna show you why. Because humans have their own coding system, right? You guys remember when I said that before? Humans have their own coding system, just like animals have their own coding. Just like when you have a Microsoft computer and you have an Apple computer, the Apple computer and the Microsoft computer, they run on different programs. They have different what would you call it? Different man, what would you call it? Different operating systems, right? The Apple computer has a different operating system than the Microsoft computer. So when you buy programs like for your laptop computer, which is an Apple, you cannot install a Microsoft program into an Apple computer. Why? Because the program is not compatible, right? Same thing with if you have a Microsoft computer, you cannot install a Apple system program into a Microsoft computer. Well, it's the same thing. Like when people die, you don't come back as a dog, bro. That's completely off. Like they don't match the system, the energetic system, the genetically speaking. It's impossible for you to come back as a dog. Why? Because you have a certain code within yourself. Your DNA dictates that you are a human being, whether you be black, brown, white, or yellow, Chinese, Japanese, right? But still, it's within the human kind. Same thing with like horses, donkeys, and all those type. They're the same type, but they're different still. So it's the same idea as with the so-called reincarnation, right? Now I'm gonna show you in the book of First Corinthians. We spoke about this briefly before many times, so I just want to bring it out again, so brothers know what I'm talking about. All right, so we're gonna go into First Corinthians chapter 15, verse 39. It says, "All flesh is not the same. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men." You see, so mankind is categorized in one type of flesh, meaning human being, humankind. Another flesh of beast. You see, another of fishes, another of birds. Verse 40, it says, there are also celestial bodies. You see, so there's angels, there's entities that are out of this dimension, and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one and the glory of the terrestrial is another. You see, so basically what it's going into is like there's different codings. There's a separation between humans and beasts. So the whole idea about humans human beings coming back and becoming a horse or a cow or a tiger is false, bro. Humankind has its own coding, right? Humankind has its own coding. So when humans die, again, we're gonna touch on that. What happens after that? Because according to the book of what is it, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 7. Let's go there real quick. All right, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, 12 verse 7. It says, all right, it says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. You see, so when people die, according to the scriptures, we go back to the Father. But the whole that idea, right? Us returning back to the Father, right? What happens between when we die, between then and going back to the Father? I mean, going back to the source. Now, there is a process, right? Now, the Bible doesn't speak literally in detail what happens between when we die and when we go back to the Father, like the spirit goes back to the Father who gave it, right? That's basically what we read. Exactly. So the soul goes into a sleep mode, but the spirit of the Messiah, the spark of the Creator, goes back to the Father. Now the question will be, what happens between the transition when you die to when you go back to the Father, right? Now, I'm gonna show you what the Gnostics teach, right? Because that's basically what I subscribe to. Now, we read in the scriptures that according to Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 7, when we die, the body, the biology of our meat suit, right? This meat suit goes back to the soil, to the ground, to the dust, right? It goes back to the elements of Mother Earth. So, but the spirit goes back to the Father. So, but what happens between the transition of us dying, going back to the Father? What happens according to the Gnostics, right? According to the Gnostics, there is some sort of corporation up in the heavens. They will, up in the heavenly realms, in other dimensions, in which they process all the spirits that return back to source. You have a lot of souls. I mean, a lot of spirits that are going back to the Father or back to the source, right? And there is some sort of factory in which a lot of these spirits are put through in order to do what? In order to reset the whole thing, their whole existence on this planet. Now, this is the perspective of a lot of the Gnostics, right? I'm speaking from the Gnostics themselves. Now, hold on. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, so when a man or a woman dies, she or he traverses these spirit realms, these gates, bro. They go through these gates according to the Gnostics, and a lot of these gatekeepers, they call it gatekeepers. Well, exactly, but even when it says your whole life is put on a scale and weighed out on a scale, well, that's also like an Egyptian idea, because a lot of the Egyptians also believe that when they went to the underworld, bro, their deeds were weighed, or meaning the things that they did, they were weighed, and if according to their deeds in the heart, and if one of them weighed more, then they will have access to the underworld, the afterlife, according to them. So that is also an Egyptian ideology. But what I was saying is that according to the Gnostics, a lot of the spirits that die, they go through this process of their spirits being cleansed or reset. It's almost like the spirits of the spirits of mankind, according to the Gnostics, they go through this process in this factory, this massive factories, bro, in the ethereal realms, in which the spirits are cleansed and resetted, right? And then we're gonna prove that how that's true. Now, this is why I ask if you guys have ever had some deja vu moments. Why? Because deja vu is basically like uh, the the concept that perhaps you've been here before, or that you have lived a life here already, and that you have some sort of remaining memories of that life that you were here, some sort of and again, that's also connected to like the holographic projection or the holographic reality in which humans are part of, right? Because everything's connected, bro. We are energetic beings. So let me bring this out. Hold on. Now, let me show you this real quick. This is what I was saying, right? It says reveal the scientific proof that shows reincarnation is real. Now, before we even go there, bro, we're gonna go into the book of Hebrews 9:27, right? Hebrews 9:27. Now, let's forget about Enoch, right? Let's go. We're gonna break it down, bro. So stick around. Shalom, everybody. Welcome to live. I'm glad you guys are here. Hopefully we can make this real quick so that I don't take too long. But we're gonna go into the book of Hebrews 9:27 because this is kind of like the rules. This is sort of the rule of the corporation of death, right? People die and that's it. You go back to the Father. That's according to the scriptures, right? But could it be true? Could it be that people die once and then they're judged and that's it? We're gonna go into it. Hebrews 9:27. All right. So it says Hebrews 9:27. It says, "And it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this judgment." You see. So according to the scriptures, it is appointed for men, right? It is appointed for men. Uh, where is it at? So according to the scriptures in Hebrews 9:27, man is appointed to die once, and after that the judgment. Meaning what? There's nothing more after that. So, but the whole thing about that is there's a problem with that, bro. Shalom, everybody. Welcome to life. There's a problem with what we just read, right? Why? Because we're gonna go into a man that died, right, and again, and came back. So, um, even even if that's the case, right now, we're gonna go into that, bro, because the man that I'm talking about is now we know that Elisha was supposed to come, right? According to the book of Micah, I believe that he was prophesied to come, right? But there was a man in the scriptures that came back that he didn't know that he was a certain man from ancient past or ancient times, prophesied to come back to the planet. But before we go into that, let's go into this evidence of scientific evidence that reincarnation is real or not. Shalom, everybody. Welcome to live. Welcome to live. Let me see. All right, man. So we are here. So it says reveal the scientific proof that shows reincarnation is real. Give me a minute, Shalom. Give me a minute. I'm having issues with my computer again, man. This is so stupid. It keeps freezing. Oh, wow. No, I don't think soul and spirit are the same thing. I think soul has to do with more with like the will and the emotions that attaches herself to the spirit, because the spirit is what drives the whole thing. So the spirit is basically like the energy or the spark of the Most High, or like they call it uh, um, what they call it, the spark or the energy that drives the whole thing. So, all right, sis. I don't know if you're a sis or a man, but I'll check it. I'll check my inbox one of these days. Maybe when I get off or when we finish the class. But I appreciate it. Yeah. So soul and spirit are two different things. So no, it's not. It's not the same. All right, we're back. All right, so it's reveal the scientific proof that shows reincarnation is real. While many scientists will dispel the notion of reincarnation as a myth, there are some credible experts out there who believe that it's a genuine phenomenon. Now, again, you brothers can do your own research on your own, and then you're gonna find out that there's many cases, bro, of many people coming back to life and remembering their past lives, bro. So how do you explain that? It says reincarnation is generally a religious concept that implies that upon a select few's deaths, their soul or mind or conscious is transferred to a newborn. It sounds like the stuff of fantasy, but some scientists do believe that is a feasible concept. Now, if I can scroll down, maybe we can read it. All right, it says Dr. Ian Stevenson, former professor of psychiatry at the University of Virginia School of Medicine and former chair of the Department of Psychiatry and Neurology, dedicated the majority of his career to finding evidence of reincarnation until his death in 2007. Dr. Stevenson claims to have found over 3,000 examples of reincarnation during his time, which he shared with the scientific community. In a study titled, quote, Birthmarks and Birth Defects Corresponding to Wounds on Deceased Persons, Dr. Stevenson used facial recognition to analyze similarities between the claimant and their alleged prior incarnation, while also studying birthmarks. We're going to continue to read. Oh, man. Computer frozen again. Damn it. All right, shalom, everybody. It's pretty slow, man. All right, let me see. Okay. My bad, my bad. Wow, man, it's crazy. This computer is fucking slow, bro. Fuck. All right, so let's. We're back. We're back. What the fuck? Damn. All right, so we were talking about birthmarks and all that stuff. He says he wrote in a study about 35% of children who claim to remember previous lives have birthmarks and or birth defects that they or adult informants attribute to wounds on a person whose life the child remembers. The cases of 210 such children have been investigated. You see, so again, you brothers can actually go and do your own research. And many individuals on this planet claiming to have been here before, even after they have died, they even remember details like, well, I used to live in this house. The color of the door was such and such. I had such and such brothers named such and such and such, and all the information that they say or that they claim to know that they were already here on this planet, it comes true. It's corroborated, bro. So it's not that they're just making it up or that they Google the stuff, bro. It's there's many cases, bro. So it's like going back to what I was saying earlier about um, the Gnostics speaking on these things before already, and the way they do and the way they show and they teach it, it's not the way like the Hinduism or Buddhism is teaching, as far as saying that um, wow, damn, bro. Yeah, so as far as Hinduism teaching that when humans die, they can return as dogs or as other animals, which is false. So yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, could be not. The information is out there, bro, for people to research on their own, come up with your own conclusions, bro. Because at the end of the day, just like the scripture says, we only know in part, right? We only know in part. We're looking like that, like in the mirror, like shadows. That's basically what Paul said, right? We know in part, bro. So we really don't know the whole thing. Just like, certain things, like just like we're about to go in a minute, how the scripture says that it's commanded for men to die once, and after that the judgment. But that's not gonna be the case. Where what I'm about to prove. Yeah, I never read that. If you want to post the scriptures on what you're saying, you can go ahead and do so, but I never read that before. Maybe I missed it, maybe not. All right, let's go back to reading again. We're back. All right, so it says Stevenson's main claim to fame was um, his meticulous studies of children's memories of previous lives. Here's one of a thousand of cases. In Sri Lanka, a toddler one day overheard her mother mentioning the name of an obscure town, Kataragama, that the girl had never been to. The girl informed the mother that she drowned there when her dumb, mentally challenged brother pushed her into the river, that she had a bald father named Herath, who sold flowers in a market near the Buddhist stupa, that she lived in a house that had a glass window in the roof, a skylight, dogs in the backyard that were tied up and fed meat, that the house was next door to a big Hindu temple, outside of which people smashed coconuts on the ground. Stevenson was able to confirm that there was indeed a flower vendor in Kataragama who ran a stall near the Buddhist stupa, whose 2-year-old daughter had drowned in the river while the girl played with her mentally challenged brother. The men lived in a house where the neighbors threw meat to the dogs tied up in their backyard, and it was adjacent to the main temple where devotees practice a religious ritual of smashing coconuts on the ground. We're gonna read on. It says the little girl did get a few items wrong. However, for instance, the dead girl's dad wasn't bald, but her grandfather and uncle were, and his name wasn't Herath. That was the name, rather of the dead girl's cousin. Otherwise, 27 of the 30 idiosyncratic, verifiable statements she made panned out. The two families never met, nor did they have any friends, co-workers, or other acquaintances in common. So, so if you take it all at face value, the details couldn't have been acquired in any obvious way. So that's one case. Um, the Sri Lankan case is one of the Stevenson's approximately 3,000 such past life cases reports uh, from all over the world. And these accounts are in an entirely different kind of parapsychological ballpark that takes featuring a middle-aged divorcee in a tie-dye tunic who claims to be the reincarnation of Pocahontas. So, I mean, the list goes on. I mean, there's a lot of cases uh, that are scientifically proven, bro. I mean, we can read this whole thing and go on and on and on, bro. Um, Let me see if we can find another one real quick, and then we're gonna go into scriptures in a minute. Um, it says Stevenson's magnum opus, published in 1977, was a 2,268 page, two volume two volume work called Reincarnation on biology. Many of his subjects had unusual birthmarks and birth defects, such as finger deformities, underdeveloped ears, or being born without a lower leg. There were scar-like hypopigmented birthmarks and port wine stains, and some awfully strange-looking moles in areas where you almost never find moles, like on the soles of the feet, so on and so forth. It says reincarnation and biology contain 225 case reports of children who remember previous lives and who also had physical anomalies that match those previous lives. Details that could, in some cases, be confirmed by the dead person's autopsy records and photos. So the question is, what's going on? What is going on? What are these cases? Why are we witnessing all these things in real life? If the Bible says that it was commanded for men to die once, and then after that, the judgment, right? So, I was thinking people who have gender issues is some kind of reincarnation glitch, like they remember their past lives. It could be. It could be. I mean, we don't know. Once again, going back to what we read now, we're gonna go into the scriptures and we're gonna read a case where, again, going back to what I said earlier, as far as when people die, according to the Gnostics, they go into these sort of uh, 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 corporations, bro. They're like, how do you say, like an assembly line, bro. A lot of the people that die, they go through this assembly line in their thorough realms, bro, where a lot of the spirits of mankind go through, and they get resetted. And we're gonna go into it in a minute. But according to the Gnostics, that's basically what happens when people die. They go through these gates, bro. A lot of these people, when they die, they go through these gates, and then through these gates, you have individuals called the Archons. Now, the Archons are basically the gatekeepers. Now, the gatekeepers are there to basically keep humanity, to continue to come back into this planet again and again and again and again and again for thousands of years without humans really knowing, bro. And that's basically the real slavery of humanity, right? Because a lot of these demons, a lot of these Archons, a lot of these demonic entities that control the ethereal realms, and they keep the gates closed so that humans don't return back to the Father. Now, we know in the scriptures it literally says that when people die, they go back to the Father, right? But again, going back to what I was asking earlier, what happens between then, when you die, and then when you go back to the Father? What happens in between? There's something in between going on to the spirits of mankind, and that's something, according to the Gnostics, is that the spirits of mankind are being resetted, so that they would so that they will not go back to the Father. They will not return, but they will be trapped into this planet, into this prison planet, because according to the Gnostics, human beings are basically energetic beings that are feeding the matrix. Humans are basically energetic beings. They're batteries. Humans are nothing more than batteries that are feeding the matrix. Now, the matrix system is an energetic holographic matrix system projection that sustains this whole existence, bro. This whole holographic projection, bro. So the Archons are making sure that when you die, you don't really return back to the Father, but that your spirit is recycled to come back into this planet to relive again and again and again for 25,000 years, which is basically the precession of the equinoxes, which takes literally 25,000 years. So according to the Gnostics, our war, the war of humanity, is that we must leave this planet, or this wheel of reincarnation, because the wheel of reincarnation, it has nothing to do with the Most High, right? The wheel of reincarnation has nothing to do with the Most High, because the wheel of reincarnation is so that humans supposedly are supposed to return to the planet so that they could pay their dues, or they can pay their karma according to them. Because again, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Buddhist, or whether you are a Hindu man or woman, whenever you die, according to whatever you believe, is who are you going to encounter in these gates. Now, the gatekeepers are gonna appear to you according to what you believe. If you believe in Buddha, well, you're gonna have some Buddha priest or whatever they like. If you were into Catholicism, the gatekeeper that's gonna be in the gates is gonna look like a priest or a pope, right? And so now when you get there, these beings, these Archons, these demons, right, that control the stages of reincarnation, bro, and they control the wheel of reincarnation. They're the ones that are basically gonna trap you once again. They're not gonna allow you to return back to source. They're gonna be like, listen, let's say, listen, Pablo de Santiago, you fucked up on the planet. you did such and such and such. So because you did such and such and such, you committed a crime or whatever they like. They're literally gonna show you, bro. But this is according to the Gnostic. This is what was revealed to the Gnostic. This is what was revealed to the all right, I'm back. So yeah, so according to the Gnostic, so yeah, so these individuals called the Archons, they're the gatekeepers. They're the ones that are keeping humanity uh, um, into this slavery. What would you call it? An ongoing slavery through the wheel of reincarnation. Why? Because the more you stay in this planet, the more you're gonna serve as food. Meaning, the more you're gonna serve as energetic food to the system, to the matrix system, and to the archonic agenda, which is this planet. Because the more wars you have, the more dissension, division, hatred humans carry and stuff. It's how these beings feed. They feed off of the suffering, the energetic balls that humans create through their wars, through their games. For example, when humans gather around, like to watch a football game, that gathering of many humans in one consent, under one mindset, is what creates this form of energy, bro. It's like an energy ball, like a bubble that creates to feed the archons, to feed these beings, bro, that feed off of our energy, bro. So this has been it's been going on for thousands of years, bro. And this is exactly why uh, Christ came. And according to the Gnostic, this is what Christ came to free us from these reincarnation cycles, bro, that keeps humanity enslaved for eons and eons of time, bro, thousands upon thousands of years. Once again, yeah, if someone dies, you're gonna encounter these beings, and they're gonna tell you, like, listen, you gotta return back to the planet because you fucked up. You did this crime or whatever. You committed this crime or whatever. You gotta return. And so human beings, because they don't know what's going on, they don't know the they don't know the agenda, bro. They don't know that there's a corporation that recycles these spirits, bro, that resets the spirits. So um, they're lied to, and so a lot of humans agree to the concept of returning back to this planet. But what a lot of humans don't know is that they just agree to return to be enslaved for 25,000 years, which is the cycle of reincarnation, bro. It's what they call karma, right? Exactly. But karma, we only pay karma once, bro. Literally, like when humans are born onto this planet, you are here to learn. You are here to learn a lesson, to develop yourself, develop your mind, develop your spirit, mature your spirit, so that when we go back to the ethereal realms, we go back to our home. We go back to the Father, bro. We go back to source. We go back to the Great Spirit. But a lot of these archonic forces, they're the ones that are keeping us from returning back to source, bro. So it's why we have to fight against them all the time. And this information that I'm bringing out, it's not taught in schools. It's not taught in the religious institutions. It's not found in the Bible, bro. Why? Because even the Bible was tainted by our enemies, bro, back in the day, during the times of the Romans, which was when the time where a lot of these archons were basically operating heavily during the times of the Romans and the Greeks. Literally, that's when they took over our book and tainted it with stuff. They added onto it and they took away, right? So when we read things like, well, it's appointed for men to die once, and then they go back to the Father. Well, yeah, it is true. It is appointed for men to die once, return. But what we're not being learned, or what we're not being taught, is that between our death and the transference of our spirits to going back to the Father, or the journey that takes us from here back to the source, back to the Father, is these entities that are staying between us, in between the Father and us, trying to stop us from going back to the Father. And so a lot of humans have already been deceived for thousands, for millennia, and they always return. Is why we have cases, that such cases like the ones we read earlier, and many cases of human beings coming back into this planet, literally returning back into this planet and remembering certain things. Why? Because the Archons made him sign a contract to say, well, listen, you fuck um this book right there, Nahamadi, which were found closely when the ancient scrolls of the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. They were found at the same time, bro. But anyway, so yeah, so that's basically the Gnostic ideology between about reincarnation. So is death the bottomless pit? I don't think death is the bottomless pit. I think the spiritual death is when human beings do not remember who they are. They do not remember their divinity, that we are, that we go back to the source, right? And so that's exactly what Christ, because Christ was part of the Gnostics. A lot of people don't know that, but Christ was part of the Gnostics, and he came to teach a lot of the things that I'm sharing with you right now. Now, I won't disclose too much, because there's demons listening. There's archons disguised as humans on this planet that are trying to stop this information from going forth. But yeah, so according to the Gnostics, reincarnation, we're not supposed to reincarnate on this planet, bro. We're supposed to exit this wheel of reincarnation. We are supposed to leave this planet. Like, again, if nothing, if you don't understand nothing of what I'm saying, if you don't like anything that what I'm saying, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. But one thing that you're supposed to take out of these out of tonight's podcast is that when and if you die, when you encounter these beings, bro, and if they tell you, as a matter of fact, let me read it out of the book, bro, so you guys know what you're supposed to say to these beings. Now check this out. This is what I was saying, right? This is from it's called this the Savior, Pistis Sophia, which is wisdom herself, and other powers appear, right? So this is what's going on. So this is what Christ says. It says, all who come into this world, like all who come into the world, like a droplet from the light, are sent by him into the world of the ruler of the universe, you see, to be guarded by him. The fetter of his forgetfulness, you see, forgetfulness. Why? Because a lot of humans have already forgotten who they really are. Why? Because they have been coming into this planet for thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. So all through millenniums, bro, many humans have forgotten. So it says, to be guarded by him, the fetter of his forgetfulness has kept the light bound by the will of Sophia, so that the reality of the circumstance might be revealed through the light of the to the whole impoverished world, on account of the arrogance and blindness of the ruler of the universe and the name of ignorance he was given. But he was talking about the ruler of this planet, meaning the God of this world. Literally, because again, going back to what the scripture says, this planet is not being ruled by God, it's being ruled by the God of this world. So the God of this world is what keeps this whole cycle of reincarnation going, bro. So it says, I have come from the places above by the will of the bright light, and I have escaped from the fetter. As a matter of fact, that's not what I wanted to read, bro. There is instructions, especially, bro, when you encounter these beings. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. See, so it says, Christ reveals to James how he also will be delivered from suffering. You see, so it says, if you fall into their hands, meaning if you fall into the hands of the gatekeepers, that's basically what it's going to. Like, this is a secret conversation that Christ was having with James, right? Talking about like the cycles of reincarnation and all of that, right? Things that I was sharing you guys about the gatekeepers basically trying to keep humanity from coming back into this planet and reincarnated again, or going back to the wheel of reincarnation, which we're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to return to this planet. So when we go there, when people die, when you brothers die, whenever you die, whenever it's your time to go, whenever it's your time to go, bro, when you encounter these beings, they're the ones that are gonna trap you and say, listen, you gotta return, Anthony, you gotta return, Mija, you gotta return, Pablo, you gotta return, Pequeña Outcast, you guys gotta return, you guys fucked up. You can't go back to source unless you return to pay your dues, your karma. Well, this is what you're supposed to say, right? When you fall into their hands, it says, if you fall into their hands, the one who is their guard will say to you, see, the guardians, the gatekeepers, it says, the one who is their guard will say to you, who are you and where are you from? You see, they're going to ask you, who are you and where are you from? What are you going to say? Do you know where you're from? Do you know where you're from? Do you know where you come from? This is basically the state of forgetfulness that a lot of humans are into right now. This is why they follow false religions and false deities and false prophets and false priests. Why? Because they have forgotten who they are. So even when you die, they're going to ask you, who are you and where are you from? You are to say to him, I am a son and I am from the Father. You see, he will say to you, what kind of son are you? And to what father do you belong? You see, you are to say to him, I am from the pre-existent Father, meaning Abba. Same thing with Christ, call him Abba. He never called him Yahweh. He called him Abba as a form of respect. Going back again, brothers that are watching, you guys know that I don't subscribe to the name Yahweh. I subscribe to the concept of Father, right? Because not any of you that have a father and a mother, you never call your father and mother by their names, like Mary, Luis or Jose. You never call them by their names, but you always call them what? Father and mother, right? So yeah, so even Christ never called the Most High Yahweh. He called them what? Father, Abba, or Eli Eli lama sabachthani, right? Abba. Now, the gatekeepers are gonna ask you, what kind of son are you, and to what father do you belong? You are to say to him, I am from the pre-existent Father, and I am a son in the pre-existent One. He will say to you, with what mandate have you come? Meaning, what have you come to the earth to do? What was your mission on this planet? That's basically what they're gonna ask you. It says, with what mandate have you come? You are to say to him, I have come at the behest of the pre-existent One, that I may see those who are ours. See, those who have become aliens, meaning they have forgotten. You got certain humans on this planet that you have forgotten who you are, bro. So when they ask you, like, what is your mission? What do you come to this planet to do? Mission on the planet. You are supposed to say, well, listen, I come to the planet to speak to my brothers, the ones that came onto this planet that have forgotten who they are, that become aliens, right? A lot of humans have become aliens, so they don't know who they are. They don't know what's going on. They just follow just to follow. They just believe just to believe because they're forgotten. It says, I have come at the behest of the pre-existent One, that I may see those who are ours, meaning our brothers, those who have become aliens. He will say to you, of what kind are these aliens? See? Of what kind are these aliens? You are to say to him, They are not entirely alien, but they are from Akamat, who is the wisdom, right? The Akamat means wisdom too, like Sophia or Chokma, who is female. She produced them when she brought this generation down from the pre-existent one. So they are not aliens, they are ours. They are ours because she who rules over them comes from the pre-existing one. It's talking about wisdom, right? Exactly what we read in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. As a matter of fact, let's go there real quick, right? Because we are the sons of wisdom also too. We're not just the sons of a father, we're also the sons of wisdom. Just like we're not just the sons of our father, but we're also the sons of our mothers too. And that's basically what a lot of people failed at. You guys failed at recognizing the mother aspect of the divinities, bro, the Alahayim. And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh yeah, Ayash is going off already. But there it is. It says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 27. It says, and being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new, and in all ages, entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of God and prophets. See? So this wisdom that we're talking about is also part of our us. It's part of our mother too. And that's basically what brothers under. That's basically like the when they call like the sin that is not forgiven is a lot of people rejecting the female counterpart of the Most High, bro. Because a lot of people say, well, no, this the Most High is just a man. It's just, well, no, bro. It's mother and father. It's sun and the moon. It's light and dark. It's left and right. It's mother and father, right? So she was a spirit, bro. Wisdom, Chokma, or Sophia in the Greek, right? So you brothers can read the whole chapter now. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. You guys can read the whole thing, and you're gonna read how wisdom is a female entity, bro. So going back to what we're reading over here, it says, she produced them when she brought this generation down from the pre-existent one. So they're not aliens, they are ours. They are ours because she who rules over them comes from the pre-existent one. Yet they are not, they are aliens because the pre-existent one did not have intercourse with her when she was about to produce them. You see, so we were created way before this planet was even created. We came into being. It says, when he says to you again, where will you go? You see, when a lot of these gatekeepers, when the gatekeepers tell us, okay, well, you told me that you're not from this planet, that you came to do a mission to gather your people, to gather the sons of light, right? Okay, but where are you going now? Now these dudes are gonna play mind games with you, bro. They're literally going to trick you, bro, into coming back into this planet. They're gonna like scare you away, bro. They don't want us to go back to like the source. They don't want us to go back to the source. It's why they keep asking these questions, thinking that we don't know what's going on, but we know. We know what's going on, bro. We know there is a corporation, bro, trying to keep humanity from ascending, bro. This is why the spirits, that when humans die, their spirits have to go through this machinery, bro. This etheric, powerful technology in which these spirits are recycled again, bro, so that they forget who they are, bro. So that they forget who they are. So the gatekeepers will always be there. But it says, when he says to you again, where will you go? You are to say to him, I shall return to the place I came from. You see, if you say these things, you will avoid their attacks. See, if you fall into the hands of the three detainers, meaning these three gatekeepers, like their officers, bro, in the heavenly realms, right? Because again, we know that the Most High said that when a man dies, the spirit goes back to the Father. But what happens between when we die and the journey that we take from us dying to going back to the Father? What happens between then, right? Between dying and going back to the Father, there's something that's going on, bro, in between. And that's exactly what we're reading, bro, is what's going on. There's some sort of corporation, bro, that wants to keep humanity from going back to source and taking our brothers back home, bro. That's the real salvation, right? The whole ideology of returning back to this planet in order to live again, to be rich and famous, and all sort of things, bro. That's their idea. That's what they want us to have. That's the game they sell us. They sell those games to us so that we return again, and so that we are constantly, bro, eternally suffering on this planet, bro, without never understanding that we are part of the divine, that we go back to source, bro. So it says, if if you if you say these things, you will avoid their attacks. If you fall into the hand of the three detainers who carry off souls by theft in that place, um, in order to them, you are to say to them, I am a vessel that is more precious than Chakma, who is your mother. As long as she's ignorant of her root, you also will not become sober again. You see. But I shall call upon imperishable knowledge, who is wisdom, who is in the Father and is the Mother. See? So so that's kind of like part of what's gonna happen, bro, when people die. When people die, obviously the scriptures clearly says that we go back to the Father. But what happens between then and the journey between us going back to the Father? Well, this is what's gonna happen. And this is, if you don't understand, if you don't believe nothing that I just said, bro, just remember this conversation, bro. When you die, you are going to encounter these beings, bro, and they're going to appear to you according to what you believe. Whether you were a Buddhist, Catholic, Christian, bro, Hindu, Chinese, Japanese, bro, it don't matter, bro. These beings basically masquerade as beings of light. They masquerade themselves as the angels, bro, and they deceive humanity for eons of time. And that's why you have a lot of humans coming back into this planet again and again and again and again, and it's never ending, bro, because that's exactly what these Archons, bro, these gatekeepers want. They want humans to coming back into this planet. Why? Because humans are nothing more than batteries. You are nothing more than a battery to this planet. You are basically what is charging this matrix system, and you keep it going. Humans keep it going, bro. Humanity is what's keeping this place, this holographic projection, but that's what's going on. So, and that's exactly what Christ was teaching in his secret teachings, bro, with the disciples back in the day. This is why a lot of the Pharisees wanted to kill him all the time, because a lot of the things that he was teaching, it was going against like so-called Torah and all these sort of things. You know what I'm saying? So once again, bro, that is what's going on, bro. That is the agenda. And now we're gonna go into the scriptures, bro, and then we're gonna look into a case where you have a man that came into this planet, but he didn't remember who he was. So all right, so in the book of Galatians chapter 6:8, it says, whosoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the spirit, from the spirit will reap eternal life. In other words, what we're reading is basically like the ideology of karma, right? And that's basically what a lot of the Archons are gonna say. Again, going back to, well, this is what you did. You gotta go back to the planet, and so on and so forth. All right, it says there was a case in Brazil where a man in his deathbed told his niece that he would reborn as her son because he knew that she would look after him and will be a great mom for him. Considering that he claimed her current daughter to be his deceased sister, and before he passed away, he told her that her future son will have an exact same scar as he had on his back and nose, 18 months later, she gave birth to her son, and when she looked at his back, he had the exact same scar as Victor, her uncle. Her uncle told her before he passed away. Um, so it says, as a case that happened in England on May the 5th, 1957, there was an incident of a car hitting an 11-year-old Joanna and her 6-year-old sister Jacqueline Pollock. While they were playing on the pavement, they were found dead on the street right after the incident happened. A year later, Mrs. Pollock was pregnant, and her husband got a vision that she would give birth to twin girls, and these two girls will be their lost daughters reborn. Mrs. Pollock, as a strict Catholic, of course, refused to believe in reincarnation and denied his husband's statement. And finally, Mrs. Pollock was found to be right. She gave birth to identical girl twins, and as they grew older, the twins started to amaze their parents by pointing out places that they had never been before. One of the girls said, quote, "The school is just around the corner," end quote. The other one pointed to a hill and said, "Our playground was behind there, and it had a slide and a swing." Farther, they recognized they recognized their old toys they had in their previous life. They even knew the exact name of their dolls. Jennifer said, "Oh, that's Mary." And she went for the second doll and said, "That's my Suzanne. And I haven't seen them for ages." She used the same names, which these Jacqueline had previously given her two dolls. Jennifer turned to Gillian, her twin, pointing to another toy and said, "That's your washing." Both of them also developed overcautious responses when crossing roads and fear speeding cars. Whatever, So, I mean, these cases could go on. We could read thousands upon thousands of cases like this on and on and on, and we're gonna be here all night. But what I want to make a point is that these um uh the concept of reincarnation is not the way the Hinduism or Buddhism is teaching. As far as when you die, you come back as a horse and a mouse or a bear. That's not true. So well, I don't know if it's Mason or not, but the evidence is there for brothers to check it out. I'm not here to convince nobody. I'm not here to for brothers to believe what I know to be true. If you brothers don't believe what is being brought out, if you guys don't research further, then I can help you out. That's really up to you. So I'm not here to convince nobody. If you don't believe what I'm saying, if you don't like what I'm bringing out, you guys can always click yourselves out and shalom. Because at the end of the day, there's certain things that are going to be brought out that many people will not understand. Why? Because they fear the unknown. They fear what they don't understand, and that's exactly what's going on, right? So whether or not it's Mason or not, I don't know. I'm just bringing out the facts that there's many cases of individuals coming back into this planet, being born again, uh, which literally the evidence is there. You brothers can research. So, I'm not trying to convince nobody in here. I'm just bringing out the facts. Now, we're going to go into the scriptures and we're going to see if this whole thing is a Masonic or not. So, we're going to read a case of a man that, was meant to return, yet he didn't remember who he was. So, and then again, we're going to read it out of the scriptures. Now, would that be a Masonic thing? Would the Bible be Masonic too? You know? All right. Yeah, I mean they're also known as the gatekeepers, bro. They have a lot of information, even more than the civilians, but just like the military do. Like the military today, they have greater technology, as far as weaponry and also things, communication systems that are more advanced than what the civilians have today. You got a cell phone that is touch, right? That has a touch screen, so on and so forth. But imagine what the military has today. They're 20 years more advanced than the civilians are today. So imagine what the government has, the things that they have, the knowledge that they have, the knowledge that they hid away. But you know, no, I'm not offended. I'm just saying for people that are watching in the background, people that are listening too, because I'm not here to convince nobody. You brothers, I'm bringing this information now. You brothers can actually do the research on your own and find out furthermore whether or not these things are true or not, because there's thousands upon thousands of cases of human beings being born that are claiming to have lived here before, right? And so if they're claiming to have lived here before, so then what about the scriptures when it says it's appointed for men to die once and after that the judgment? So what happens to those people? Were they already judged to the point that they came back onto this planet? Or is it the fact that the Gnostics, what they were saying is facts and true, that a lot of these gatekeepers, right, um the the gatekeepers that I was talking about, right, those ones right there, the gate is could it be true, or is it far-fetched that what the Gnostics were teaching or showed us in their manuscripts, in the ancient scrolls, uh could that be factual, or could that be a lie, or could that be far-fetched from the truth? I mean, who is really telling the truth? Are we being lied and deceived into this whole concept of death, right? Because a lot of people celebrate life, but nobody celebrates death. Now, I'm not saying that brothers gotta celebrate death, but I'm saying is that many people are afraid of dying. Why? Why are people afraid of dying? Why? What is going on? And that's the uh question. What is it? One of the big questions of humanity: what happens after death? That's basically what a lot of humans ask. What happens after death? We know that when we die, our spirit goes back to the Father, right? But the question is, what happens between when we die and the journey that the spirit takes to get to the Father, right? What happens in between? And we know that the Gnostics already disclosed what happens between then and here and then. Well, they're the ones playing a game with humanity to keep us trapped into this prison planet, to continue to live again and again and again and again and again, without ever coming back to source, or going back to source where we come from. And that's basically the forgetfulness that many of you have to do. So, I mean, who are you? That's the question. Who are you? Where are you from? That's basically what they're going to ask you. I mean, your response to them will be the deciding factor whether or not you return back into this planet without you even knowing. A lot of you are here and you don't even know that you came back already, but you claim to know who you are. Well, my name is such and such, and I'm this and that and the third. Well, are you? Or you forgot already? Someone resetted your spirit that you came back into this planet, and now you're living a life that you may not remember. So, anyways, Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 12, it says, Matthew 11:12, and from the days of John the Baptist until the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Now, this is referring to the Romans, when the Romans came and invaded Jerusalem, and they started killing a lot of our people, persecuting a lot of the Jews back in those days. So our kingdom was being taken, it was being taken by force by a lot of the Romans back in those days. But verse 13, it says, for all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. You see, now this is the interesting thing right here. It says, and if ye will receive it, this is Elias. Who? John the Baptist. Christ was saying, if you will receive it, meaning if you receive what the prophet spoke about, what is being referred in the prophecy, talking about John and Elisha, it says, and if you will receive it, this is Elisha which was for to come. See, he that had ears to hear, let him hear. See, if you have ears to understand what's going on. Now, this is Elisha, right? Now we're gonna go into let's see, 17:11, 17:11. Um, Matthew 17:11. It says, and Christ answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. You see, but I said unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. See, 13. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. So John the Baptist was not John the Baptist. He was naming himself John the Baptist, but he didn't know that he was what? Elisha. He was Elisha. So meanwhile, you have John the Baptist walking around. Well, I'm a Levite. I'm Job the Baptist. I'm here to prepare the way of the most of Christ. But he was calling what? He called himself John. Yet Christ himself said that he was Elisha. Now, we're gonna go into the book of where is it at? Where is it at? All right, John 121. All right, so again, we're gonna go into the book of John 121. But we read earlier, right, that Christ was having a conversation with the disciples, and the disciples knew that John the Baptist was what? Was who? Elisha, the one that was prophesied to come, right? Now, in the book of John, right, 1:11, we have an 121. Let's read let's read on. The book of John, chapter 1, verse 19. It says, and this is the record of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, to ask who? John the Baptist, who art thou? Right? Why did they ask him, who art thou? Meaning, who are you? Because he didn't fit the mold of being a Levite. Why? Because he was wearing what? He was wearing camels clothing. He was eating locust and honey. He was weird. For being a Levite, he was a weird one, right? But it says, verse 20 says, and he confessed and denied not, but confess, I am not the Christ, right? See? Verse 21, and they asked him again, what then? Art thou Elias? See, even the Levites knew that Elisha was to come. He was supposed to come. And so they asked him, are you Elisha? Because they asked him if he was Christ. He denied, no, I'm not the Christ. I'm not the Messiah, right? I'm not the anointed one. And they ask him, verse 21, and they ask him, what then? Are you Elisha? And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no. You see, so he denied that he was Christ and that he was Elisha. Now, why did he deny that he was Elisha? Why? Why? Right? Now let's go to again, going back to what I was saying as far as like what the Gnostics were teaching about the cycles of reincarnation and how there's like some sort of what would you call it? Let me see. Let me look it up. Works. right? So what I was saying is that there's a manufacturing plan, bro. There's a manufacturing plan that takes care of the spirits that when they die, they have to go through their journey going back to the Father. But there is a manufacturing plan, right, which is able to reset the spirits of men when they die, so that what? So that when they come back, they don't remember who they are. And that's exactly what happened to John the Baptist, right? The Levites asked him, like, who are you? Are you are you Elisha? Are you the prophet? Are you Christ? He denied. He said, no, I'm not Christ. I'm not Elisha. So what then? Who are you? Now, why he didn't even remember, or why he couldn't say who he was, except that he was saying that he was John. Now, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 11, it says, there is no remembrance of former things, you see, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come up after, you see. So going back to uh, the whole reincarnation manufacturing plans, in which you have a lot of these archons, just like the Gnostics were saying, that they're the ones that keep humanity coming back into this planet again and again and again. And so when the spirits go through these these manufacturing plants, their spirits of men are resetted to the point that they won't remember who they are, they won't remember their past lives, and so on and so forth. But there's certain glitches once in a while, here and there, left and right, in many humans all throughout the world. They have they call it deja vus. What is a deja vu, right? So what is the deja vu, bro? What is deja vu? Could it be that deja vu is basically like them not doing a good job at erasing your previous lives on this planet, right? Somehow someone was sleeping on the job, and they forgot to erase like the memories. So some of the memories that you acquired while you were living on this plane of existence, this place called Earth, this three-dimensional place, this holographic projection, bro. So exactly. Well, according to quantum mechanics, bro, or quantum physics, my bad. According to quantum physics, there is no time. Time is non-existent, right? We human beings have to create this idea of time in order to operate within this holographic projection or plane of existence, so that it makes sense to us. But in reality, time is non-existent. Time is not linear, right? If we travel to other dimensions, time is non-existent there, but we can literally see many dimensions being played simultaneously, right? So, but yeah, man. So again, we read in the book of Matthew 11. We read in the book of John 1:20 and down, that John the Baptist couldn't remember who he was. He didn't remember who he was, bro, right? But Christ and the disciples knew that John the Baptist was who? Elisha. Yet John the Baptist didn't know that he was who? Elisha. Why? Because we read that, there's no remembrance of those things that are going to come after, meaning their spirits are going to be coming back and returning into this plane of existence through the wheel of reincarnation. No, so now, what then, right? What then? Again, because okay, so if John the Baptist was Elisha, right? Now we know that Elisha didn't die before, but we know that John the Baptist, according to Christ and the disciples, he was Elisha, right? He was Elisha the prophet. Now, what happened to Elisha during the times of Christ? Meaning, what happened to John the Baptist, aka Elisha? He was killed. He was decapitated. So for brothers to say that Elisha is going to come back again, according to the book of Revelations, as one of the witnesses, well, okay, well, if that's the case, so scripture says that a man is supposed to die once and after that the judgment. So why is Elisha doing on this planet again? According to the book of Revelations, if the scripture says that it's appointed for men to die once and after that the judgment, so has Elisha, if or when Elisha returns, if that's the case, which I don't believe, if And if then, when Elisha returns, according to the book of Revelations, has he gone through his judgment? See, that's the question. So again, going back to the flaws of the book, of many things that we don't know who tampered with our book before. We don't know who added who and what they added onto. Now, between this book of the Bible and this book right here, between this book and this book, this one has been tampered with many thousands of times. This one was found the way it is, bro. These scrolls were found back in the 1940s, bro, and they never went through no councils of Nicaea, no Roman tamperings, no popes ever touched these books, bro. These scrolls. So now these scrolls literally go back to like the pre-Christian era. Now we know that Christ called himself a Nicene Israelite, or Essene, a Gnostic. He was called a Gnostic, meaning drawn from the source. That's basically what Gnosis means. Gnosis or Gnostic means you being drawn from the source, meaning you learning exactly what Christ said in John chapter 14, verse 26, when it says, when I go back to the Father, I will send you the Holy Spirit, and she will teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance. So there is a way of us learning, meaning tapping to the source to learn things and secrets that we're not that we don't learn here in the books. But you know, that's a journey, that a personal journey people have to take on themselves to personally, bro. I'm not here to convince nobody. But is reincarnation real? And if reincarnation is real, according to many cases that you brothers can actually read for yourselves and research on your own, if it's real, what is really going on, man, in these manufacturing plants in which the spirits of mankind are resetted in order to return back into this planet without humans not ever knowing. Now, this whole concept, these manufacturing plants of these archonic forces, is been happening for thousands of years. So, you know, go figure what is it that you're supposed to do. And once again, I read you guys that what you're supposed to say when you die, when you encounter these beings, these gatekeepers. Your job is to go through the light, is leave this planet. Your job is not to agree to come back into this planet to live again miserable lives, bro. This planet is a prison planet. This planet is basically the ghetto of the galaxy. Literally, this planet Earth is the ghetto of the galaxies. Now, it's not so bad of a ghetto. Why? Because there's beautiful places on this planet, but the only reason why we're here is to help our brothers and sisters to free themselves from the bondage of these entities, these beings that call themselves angels, gatekeepers, guardians, and whatever the like, right? And free ourselves to go back to source, go back to the Father, bro. That's the true ascension. That's the true salvation that brothers have to keep in mind, right? That's the true salvation. Us exiting this planet, going back to source, bro. Going back to source, right? We come here to learn lessons, bro. We come here to educate ourselves, mature our minds, our spirits, learn whatever lessons that we came to learn once. Just like the scripture says that you are commanded to die once, and after that the judgment. Well, that's it. We die, we traverse through the dimensions, going back to the Father, to source, and then that's it. Anything after that, you coming back into this planet and remember that you had a past life, you were tricked. You were tricked, bro. And obviously you will never know that you were tricked, because sometimes they do an amazing good job at these manufacturing plants in which they process your spirit in order to erase it, to reset it. Now you have a spirit that is reset. Now you're good to go, and then you come back to this planet again, and now you're born into someone else, bro. Now you walk around, you're born, you go to school, you go to church, you become a pastor, you become a religious fanatic, bro. I don't know, you play sports, bro. It's the same shit. It's the same shit again and 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 again, bro. It's ongoing, bro. This thing is an ongoing concept, bro. It's just an ongoing thing. The wheel of reincarnation is never ending unless we end it, bro. Once we end it, we can actually go back to the Father. Other than that, everybody's trapped, bro. Well, Christ said that don't look for the kingdom outside of yourselves. The kingdom is already within you. Meaning what? You are the source. You belong to the source. You are of the Father. The spark of the Creator lives within you. So why would you think of the kingdom outside of yourself? The kingdom is already within you. The kingdom is not outside of yourselves. Check this out. Check this out, right? It says, the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 20, it says, when asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God would come, see, the Pharisees asking them, when is the kingdom of the Most High coming back? When is it going to be established on this planet? Christ replied, the kingdom of God will not come with observable signs, nor will people say, look, here it is, or there it is. For you see, the kingdom of God is in your midst, is within you. See, it's within us. It's amongst us. So that's what I wanted to bring out. You know, I hope you guys were edified. Let me see. Right. This is hell, exactly. Facts. Anyways, we're gonna sign out. You know, thanks for sticking around. Shalom, everybody. Again, I hope it was edifying or informative. If you don't believe anything that I brought out, at least I hope it was informative for you brothers to do your own research on your own and find out even further if this whole concept of reincarnation is real, and if it's so, then what is really going on? You know what I'm saying? What is really going on? Why are people coming back into this planet or being born? Why are humans being born and somehow somewhat remembering their past lives? Could it be that, again, their spirits are not being recycled well enough in these manufacturing plants when people die, right? Just like we read in the book of Matthew, in the book of John, when Christ and the disciples knew that John the Baptist was Elisha, the man that was supposed to prophesy to come into this planet, right? John the Baptist didn't even know that he was Elisha in the flesh. Now, obviously, the spirit of Elisha was inside John, meaning he was inside the meat suit, the body of John the Baptist, right? So, I mean, and we read in Ecclesiastes 1:11 that somehow there's our spirits or our minds or this whole concept of our spirits being erased or reset, it's not far-fetched. Just like we read in Matthew, right? Clearly that John the Baptist didn't even know that he was Elisha. He denied it even in John 1:11. John 1:20 and down, the book of John, chapter 1:20 and down, the Pharisees asked him, "Are you Christ? Are you Elisha?" He said, "No, I'm not Elisha. I'm not Christ." Yet Christ and the disciples in Matthew 11 and Matthew 17 knew that John the Baptist was Elisha. So a clear concept that the whole reset of our spirit is not far-fetched, you know, from reality. So yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to bring out as far as reincarnation subject. Reincarnation has nothing to do with us. We're not supposed to reincarnate on this planet ever. You know what I'm saying? We are supposed to return back to source, go on through the light, and challenging a lot of these demons, these shapeshifters that are trying to keep humanity enslaved for thousands upon thousands of years. So all right, all right, everybody. Shalom. You guys have a great night. We're gonna sign out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking around. Once again, I hope you guys were informed. And if you don't believe anything that I brought out, at least I hope you guys were informed of the concept of reincarnation. So most likely, and like you said, sometimes most likely sometimes you got these trans people, hopefully maybe being some sort of glitches in the system, that they remember that they were feminine or females in the past, and that's why they act the way they do or whatever they like. I don't know, but there's a lot of things that we don't know. We're still in the shadows on many things, but hopefully you guys once again learn something. We'll see you around on Friday night, Miami. I'm not sure if Jeremiah is gonna bring out a beautiful, powerful presentation on Second Ezra chapter 13, where he might gonna show the ships that is spoken of in Second Ezra 13. So you guys might want to tune in on Friday night, Miami, to find out about whether or not Jeremiah is gonna bring it out. Other than that, you guys have a great night, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking around. Shalom. Alrighty then. All right, Yashral, we're gonna sign out, but don't forget to tune in on Friday night, Miami. I think Jeremiah has given us the green light. He's gonna bring out a beautiful, powerful breakdown on Second Ezra 13. So don't forget to tune in once again Friday night, Miami, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's your brother Shema with Ancient Watchmen. We're gonna sign out. You guys have a great night. Shalom. Pablo de Santiago, yeah, I'll look into it, bro. Thanks for sharing information, bro. Yeah, I'll look into it hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, it's just a lot of information. Many brothers send me many things, so sometimes it's hard to keep up, but yeah, man, I'll check it out. Shalom.